Welcome the fuck back, people.
Boop, boop, boop.
It is us once again, Captain Flaco.
You already know who it is.
Here for another hip-hop album review.
That's correct.
Yeah, man. And on today's menu, we have Reason.
Who?
Who? Yeah,
Reason.
TDE, new signing.
Yes.
His debut album, There You Have It. And apparently, one of the members of the Migos decided to go on a solo venture.
Well, this ain't
Quavo.
This ain't surprising because they were talking about him like venturing off first, being the first guy to like venture off.
Well, he's bringing us what? Quavo Huncho?
Yes, Quavo Huncho.
Quavo Huncho, Mr. Migo.
Yes.
Going solo.
Well, you know, he flying dolo on this one. You know what I mean?
Going solo dolo.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Bars.
Quavo bars. But
there
anyway,
it is.
Yeah. So I guess you want me to take
I mean, this is right up your alley, so you know. Disclaimer, I will say this again. I think I said this in a previous video.
The ratchet levels?
Whenever any type of ratchet level song that's identifiable, whether it's production-wise mainly, or with the grammar,
I'm gonna find it.
He's gonna find it and he's gonna live. He's gonna get his Power Ranger costume and he's gonna live. You feel me? And he's just gonna be out there doing it.
All right.
So, little bro, I leave it to you.
Yeah. All right. This project was 19 tracks.
Yes.
Right. 19 tracks. I mean, it was loaded with features.
Yes.
As we all know, how we base any review that we do on hip-hop albums, it's lyrics, lyrical content, album structure, and the motherfucking beats.
Gotta bang. Feel me?
Lord have mercy, are there beats on this? Now, lyrics, lyrical content, and album structure. Album structure. Now, I don't know where you're gonna go with it, but I wanna pick out, once again, very similar to, who was it? Who did we say? Lil Wayne, right? Someone that can put a track together. The majority of these 19 tracks, I'm not exaggerating when I say the majority of these 19 tracks are joints that you're definitely will hear in the strip club or in a club atmosphere and bump and enjoy the fuck out of the night. And
without question. You're going to the ATM. Right. Without question.
The only gripe that I have, to be honest, is like there is no longevity in any of it.
So you don't see this, revisiting this like 5 years down the road? Like this is
hell no. This is very much like a full-blown album of lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it, lean with it. It's dope, and I will pick out some standout ones. I will do that, but it's so radio friendly from top to bottom. I won't hate on it. But where were the lyrics? I'll tell you what. The track "Fuck 12" with his mate Offset, right? He was featured on that. There was a Malcolm X speech, it was really deep, and we all know fuck the police, yada yada yada. We know what the struggles are.
What a wasted interlude. I'm sorry.
I don't necessarily feel it's a waste of an interlude because I think at least on Offset's side, what he spit on it, there's levels to it, and we can't overlook others' contributions just because they're not as professional lyricists as others, you know, and what they're delivering and the message and that struggle, because the struggle is all the same.
Absolutely.
For the most part. So I tip my hat to Quavo and Offset to expose a different light, because any other time it's like, yo, all they do is just throw jewelry on the problem. I'm gonna sprinkle some diamonds, bitch, diamonds out my face. What? On my face. Huh? On my face.
Sprinkle some diamonds on them.
And you know,
foolish.
But it's the truth. Like, they forgot. You would think that they forgot what the struggle was, you know, and how they got there. I don't know. I don't think that they have, but you wouldn't hear it in their music.
That's true.
Until like I heard that track, I said, oh shit, okay, that stood out. I will say a negative standout would be the Champagne Rose, which was featuring Cardi B and Madonna. And I'm gonna tell you something, Madonna, that hook of yours first of all, that track in itself was just so manufactured. Like, they tried to make this radio station banger that's gonna be on Z100 and be on Hot 97. Like, nah,
instead of it just letting it be what it is.
Oh God, Madonna has no business in any type of hip hop, anything, to be honest. But that was pretty rough. But that was a negative standout. Another positive one I felt was Swing, featuring DeVito and Normani. And once again, it was like a real soca beat, Afro soul. Like, that shit was just fire. But once again, radio friendly. There like it's hard to find anything that truly had any substance other than the Fuck 12. And once again, I shout out Offset because I didn't even know he had it in him. But I guess Offset and Takeoff were the lyrical ones. I thought Quavo was, but Quavo's like he's the one that does, I guess, the hooks and the harmonizations and everything like that.
I personally think that when you're in a collective, I think that there's certain people that they purposely showcase and put in front.
Okay.
Because they're more equipped to deal with that brunt.
Got you.
Not that them as a collective don't have an equal part in what you see, right? So sometimes the person that's pulling the strings more actually has a better idea of, like going forward. So for example, like you had, it was a lot easier, as impressive as Liquor Swords is as an album, it's not as impressive as Ghostface Iron Man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the genius is part of the quote unquote brain trust of Wu-Tang. So it's a lot easier for him to like succeed and have a classic song. Gotcha. I think a lot of times people get misconstrued and they think that one person is just because they're in the front, just because they're that front person that they're standing taller than the other guys.
Right.
But at the same time, they're not really standing taller. That's part of their collective, you know?
I hear you. Last, before I forget, the track Lost, and I mean, it's Kid Cudi on there. I honestly think Cudi wrote that hook or something there, because the transition from when Quavo sang to Cudi's verse, and I mean, what they're even speaking on about just drug abuse and just depression, like it's a dope ass track, man. And
Absolutely.
Quavo spits on the end, which was really fire. I'm like I said, I enjoyed it, but there's no longevity here. I'm gonna give it like a 2.5 because not a 2.5 because, like I said, I know if the shelf life on this album is 4 months, I guarantee you wherever I go, I'm going to hear one of these 19, and the quantity of work, and he worked with a lot of people on this joint, and everybody I felt, with the exception of Madonna, contributed something dope to the project. So I'm giving it a 2.5.
2.5 from the little bro.
Yeah. Quavo Huncho.
Now it's the big bro's turn. Again, 19 songs. I think I don't like to really like age things and like pigeonhole us because we are old heads, but like I hear projects like this and it really, I think my ears
were bleeding?
No, I think like, okay, so let me break down this analogy. So it's not even an analogy, let me break this down, and then this will definitely explain how I'm gonna review this album. When I was a young man, listening to the music, the album, the structure that we evaluate these projects is how I evaluate it as a listener. Like you had to have all those ingredients to be
hip hop classic.
Right.
5 mics.
This generation, not a knock on them. This generation, a lot of it is image first and talent second.
Okay.
When I was growing up, when we were growing up, I don't like to say when we were growing up, it's more talent first, image second. With that being said, I'm not the biggest Migos fan. That's not a knock on their talent and what they can do.
Pipe it up.
Because they are very instrumental in the way these young kids listen to the music and are involved in the culture.
Right.
Like that's a totally different talent. I'm very happy that he's the first one to come out of the three because I really feel like out of the three, he is the least appreciated by the fans. Because of the fact that he's not front and center, that he's more of the quote unquote ad-lib dude, or you know what I mean? Like I really feel like that's a calculated move by them, which I appreciate. I gotta agree with your point. Sonically, this is really dope, but I think where it falls short is very repetitious most of the album until it kind of hits its stride. You know what I mean? Like the features, not all of them were great. Some of them fell on their face. Some of them were actually really good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think to me, when that song "Keep That Shit" came on, I think that's kind of like where it was kind of in the pocket more.
What number was that?
Keep That Shit was number 10 out of 19. So I think like the next 9 songs actually kind of showed a little variety in him. You know what I mean? Like maybe not his flow or like what he was talking about, which again was also very repetitious. But like the beat selection was different. You could tell that he's not completely in his comfort there. You know, songs like Swing, which you brought up, that's something that like not in his zone. Lost with Kid Cudi, that was an excellent song. Like I think that's like a different, like that's a different thing. But you know, like songs like Lambo Talk, songs like Keep the Switch, you know, Huncho Dreams, like these are all like Biggest Alley-Oop. These are songs that like I felt could have been on the Migos album.
Wait, before I forget though,
Yes.
thank you, bro, for calling that one out. The Huncho Dream, which I know has been blowing up on the radio and everything like
Right.
that. That is the response to Barbie Dreams when when Nicki called out him and said that Karuchi is mad because she thought that he was sleeping with him.
Gotcha.
So he then, like, I love that. Oh, and then
Yeah, that was dope. That was kind of like,
and then everybody, oh my God.
that was kind of like when No Scrubs came out and then they did I Don't Like No
And
Pigeons.
so I forgot about that one. That one was enjoyable.
But it was but again, like the beat and the way the lyrics were structured, it was kind of repetitious. You know, up until that point. But you know, you also had songs like Shine that were different. You know, like you could tell like he wasn't in his comfort zone, so to say. I mean, the Madonna thing fell flat. I mean, Lose It with Lil Baby, that's a great beat. Like that's a
Lil
great
Baby killed that, bro.
That's a great little beat. I mean, Rerun with Travis Scott. I mean, you know, it's nice to see when guys have a project that they allow the other artists that they're on to kind of like you go to wits with them.
Right.
And yeah, they're not like the most lyrical dudes, but for what they do, it was a good little sparring with them. You know what I mean? Like and this is a person that's not the biggest. I'm not the biggest like Migos fan. I think that I just think honestly like that's a younger generational listen that if you're under 25 you get it. Like I think if like folks of my age I don't get it. But that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing.
Right.
But you know, you can't discount like their influence.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And again, like I like the fact that they were there. I mean, Bubblegum was another good song. You know, like these are.
Yeah, TV time.
Oh,
You want TV time?
it's all right. You know, joints like Bubblegum. You know, these are songs that are pretty cool. Like Big Bro, I thought was a good attempt, but I thought it fell short because songs like that you have to be more crafty with what you say. They're very crafty at saying the same thing.
Right.
In some of two
Right.
different ways.
Yep.
You know, that's their thing. And the ad libs, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's what they do.
True.
I'm gonna give this a positive 2.5 as well.
Okay.
I also think that this could be, you know, for his solo career, this isn't a bad first effort.
Right. I agree.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Like, I don't think it's bad. I don't, you know, sometimes people say, oh, wow, it's a 2.5. Listen, there's two different 2.5s in my book. I could give you a 2.5 like Nicki Minaj album, which I thought was straight and utter garbage. Or I could give you a 2.5 like an ASAP where it's,
you see the development.
I see where it's where it can go. You know, kind of like Lupe did. He gave us Drago's Wave, which is fucking amazing. You know, but he had to go through something first. But I think this is kind of like the Denzel Curry where this is actually a decent introduction as a solo artist. I'll put it at that. So I'm gonna give it 2.5.
Sweet. All right.
Next up,
The homie Reason.
Reason.
from Los Angeles.
Shout out to the man. It's called There You Have It.
Yep.
It's a 12 song sample. Mm-hmm. Not a sample, a styling, a piece of work.
45 minutes long though.
45 minutes long. Very good listen. Very good.
Oh yes.
That song Corrupt, where he basically is giving props to his biggest probably influence of all time, is probably Corrupt from Dog Pound.
I give a fuck about a beat.
You know what I mean? Like I love it when I hear guys pay homage to those who laid it down before them. Huge fan of that. Mm-hmm. There You Have It, I think was very good after the skit. Skit was very
relevant.
Yeah, the skit was very
Back in the day, music used to make sense.
You know what's crazy?
Y'all niggas would have made sense out of the music.
You know what I mean? Like
Flaco trying to make sense out of the music.
It was kind of like a video I shot with this young man. No, I like that element when you can goof about how older people listen to music before you, and then you become that person.
Yep.
So that was really dope. I love Drive Slow and Taste Like Heaven. I love those. I love that song. I love the Color Dreams and Killers Part 2.
yes.
I like those transition tracks where you're on one beat and then you cut into another one and still don't break tried and true to your storytelling. Right. Better Days is also another standout song to me. And that Summer Up, which is like, basically a summary of like, listen, everybody has to get fresh for the summer. Mm-hmm. Everybody dreams about what they want to do as opposed to what they can do. And I think that song was a big reflection of it. That's Thirst Like Tracks, Better Days. What I didn't like about this album is that I wish the tracks were placed better. I think the tracks were placed better. I think songs like Bottom and Thirst were not placed in the right spot. So it wasn't like fluid.
Okay, I got you.
That was where it kind of like took a little bump in the road, but that's not a bad thing.
That's a tribute to his storytelling abilities. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
He's really dope. I think TDE has continued to not drop the ball in the artists that they sign. They have a very good critique of who they want to get there. The other thing that I didn't like about the album was too short for me.
45 minutes.
No, but I wanted more songs. For me as a listener. No, for me that's not a bad thing.
Damn.
That's not a bad thing. I'm a larger sample size.
Greedy, bro.
I am. I'm a greedy bastard. That's fine. I'm greedy. Why not?
We'll bring out the other plate of calamari real quick.
Yeah.
We ate 2 already.
Yeah, bring that other plate. Bring the cheese dish. Bring everything. Yeah. Listen, you get your time to fucking critique. I'm critiquing now, all right? I'm gonna give this a 3.5. Again, I don't think it's like the super duper blown away, but I was very surprised and this is actually like, because just so people understand the process how we do this, like I get an alert, we have a membership, a title, whatever, we get an alert, we hear something new, we send it. And we send it back and forth. And when Flock sent this to me,
Tuesday,
we had the
right?
we had the Quavo album. I was like, I don't know, but he said, all right, we'll get into this one first, and I got into it, and it was a pleasant surprise. You know what I mean? I think if this is what he's given to the world as far as like an official album to the world,
right.
I think this is kind of like my Denzel Curry. Like, I think this is a great first way to go out. So Cap's gonna give it a 3.5. Shout out to Reason. Keep doing your thing, man. You have a fan in me, bro. I'll tell you that.
The first time that I was introduced to Reason was off the Black Panther album back in February 9th. Dropped. He was on the track 12, Seasons. Go check it out. There was 2 other features on that. Can't remember right now. Just run through it. But then nothing again. But then again, they're on the West Coast, so mixtapes or other features you would have been on, if it don't catch their way, we're gonna miss it. Then all of a sudden, beginning of August, he's officially signed to TDE. All right, bang! End of September, here comes this album. You know what I mean? So it was just like boom, boom, boom. All right, bet. I heard it the first run through, and I love the struggle and pain and passion in his voice, in his cadence, in his pitch, and his storytelling. that's just not.
Very layered, man. I feel you, man. He's a very layered artist.
It's like not that many artists care to do that anymore, per se. You know what I'm saying? So when you have someone that for 12 tracks and damn near more than half of them told stories in each track, like you have to appreciate, especially coming from the school we came from. Some serious standout joints. I personally love the track, Thirst, excuse me, where we can all relate to house parties or going or just that them hood clubs. You pay your $5.
Sure.
You there trying to park a lot, pimp. You and your man you trying to bag up, and then you see your op down the you know what I'm saying, right on the other side. You just like, I ain't gonna go that way. I ain't gonna go there, because you go over there, it's gonna pop.
But it could be that way. You know what I mean? Like absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And basically how in intricate detail, like he breaks down about how they got spotted was bracking and fucking snuff one dude, ran out hopping fence, coming back.
A lot about the culture there, which I think a lot of people, I think forget about. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they forget about how gang culture is still a very big thing in Los Angeles, man.
It's real. It's really real. But yeah, man. So like I truly like you could just close your eyes and step by step the way that he spits that you see it all. Another one like you said was Color Dreams, The Killer Part 2, where it's basically like a 3-part story that he tells. Like one which kind of could have been off of The Thirst, where somebody got shot in there, even though in this one is like a 14-year-old in Milwaukee, so this is probably like a true story that had happened.
It is.
And this is the remorse that this killer now is feeling, because here he is gang banging, thinking that he's living his best life, in this gang affiliated world. You kill an innocent 14-year-old, so now you're going to jail for 80 years of your life, and now you're sitting back in a cell reminiscing like fuck, and your remorse you feel for that family, his girlfriend, his mother. Instead of in the second verse, he goes into explaining his regret, or another person's regret for the big brother of a little brother that gang banged and got killed because he gave no fucks because his little brother looked up to him gang banging and like again, you just close your eyes and see it. And then the last is like an apology letter to his mother in that same track, and he's basically like saying sorry for being in such a disappointment and just embarrassment as he hangs himself. So it's just so vivid, it's just so real, it's just so raw.
It's telling the two sides of it, you know what I mean? Like it's telling the two sides of the coin, I think, which a lot of people forget.
Exactly.
That when you take a life, you're still ruining your life and you're ruining the people around you. I think that third part of that story was awesome, man.
Yeah, man. You got also another tracks like Fuck With Me, which is definitely gotta be a radio play, but I love the line when he goes like, Stacy brings some friends that like pussy, but don't say they don't fuck with me because I'm a nigga, but when they see my neck blinking, then they change their decisions. Like it's like he's so fluent with it, man. It's like, and it's some real shit because chicks won't fuck with you until they see you got some bread or some health coverage, and all of a sudden it's like,
it's until you get older to our age.
Let me get another drink. Yeah. Like you gonna smash it. Then you got Better Days. And which is another dope ass track. Niggas be praying for whips while they're hoping that they get cheddar raised. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you praying for whips, you praying just to get dollars, but you out there, I need to get this car. Well, all he's doing is just praying for better days. Period. So this is someone that's truly struggled, man, and you hear it once again in his voice, you hear it in his lyrics. The track Solutions. It's just about relationships and the struggle within that. State We In, just honestly, once again,
another great song.
In our communities.
Well-crafted song, man.
Yeah,
well-crafted project, man.
I mean, the album in itself is just beautifully done, I feel, and for, like you said, the introduction, because you only get one chance for first impression, so you definitely had me as a fan through and through, and I love debut albums. Like I always look for, because 9 out of 10 times, this is the best you're gonna get from an artist. Sure. And to me, like I love this, bro. Like I'm definitely giving this a 4-5. I get what I mean, because when I see 12 tracks, you initially think, especially with this day and age, but the majority of them fucking songs were 4 minutes long. So
Oh, no, absolutely.
I'm so immersed in it, but like.
Well, storytelling guys tend to be longer.
Yes.
The songs, you know.
Right, but when you said you wanted more, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying, but
did.
I feel like.
But they didn't feel like 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah,
listening through
I
it,
hear what you're
you
saying,
don't even
so
really
what
know.
you want-
Honestly, like, you don't even really feel that you spent that amount of time listening to it, which shows that he's on to something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
which he is great at what he does.
But I'm hyping with it. I said 4 or 5, right? No,
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a 4, cause I wasn't a fan of Bottom. I wasn't a fan of Bottom. I think he was shouting out. I think that Zan Bell cat. I think that's his homie. He's shouting him out. Not to say, yo, he spit some joint, but it wasn't really. So no, 4. I mean 4. So I gotta make sure 4. Definitely in 4, but I truly did love it, man.
It's a
Reason
dope
I'm
listen,
hyped
man.
to hear from you again, and just keep doing what you're doing, brother, man. You truly have a official fan of me, and
Support that man. Download that, purchase
Yep.
that, man. Honestly, it's
Yep.
a great listen, man.
there you have it.
I think there's a.
Name of it.
Yeah, I think that's a, that's such a great start to like your career. You know what I'm saying? Like he's dope as hell. So for the reminisce aspect, we have another birthday.
Okay.
One of my favorite collectives, Boot Camp, had a group by the name, I don't know if you ever heard of them. They kind of legends. You feel me? They kind of legends.
Smith and Wesson?
No, Black Moon.
Black Moon? Okay.
Black Moon had an album called Enter the Stage, which is one of the, if you haven't heard it, make sure you fucking go out there and listen. Because to me, I felt like they were like the first like authentic Brooklyn collective out.
Them West
And
Indian
they were
roots,
like
baby.
before Wu-Tang popped off, they were the stable.
Right.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Enter the Stage. Happy 25th birthday. If you don't know about that album, it had songs like Who Got the Props, How Many MCs, you know what I'm saying? Like I Got You Open, unbelievable tracks. Shout out to Buckshot. He's actually one of my favorite MCs of all time. Like, you know how people say, oh, who's your top 5? I always tell people I have a favorite list, and then I have a list who I think is like influenced and like, but then there's guys that I personally like.
Right.
He was a very braggadocious, but still had that kind of street element to him. And just their delivery, shout out to Evil D, you know what I'm saying? Because them instrumentals were just
bananas.
so fire, man. Yo, you're such a contribution to Brooklyn, the borough where we were born and raised in. You know, like such a imprint on hip hop in general. Such a smart mind. You know what I mean? And those guys, I think, are kind of get brushed under the rug, and they don't really get the cred that they should. You know what I mean? So make sure you go out there. Once again, happy birthday.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy born day.
You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to Enter the Stage. Much props and respect to Buckshot. Much props to Evil D. So that's the reminisce aspect. I think that album was a template for how people should do albums, in my opinion, going forward into the 90s. So now, normally, my little bro would give you the spoon-fed and the seek. But this week, I'm jacking them. You understand? I'm jacking them.
Take it away.
And this is something that, he wholeheartedly gave me.
Oh yeah.
Gave me the lob today.
I was showing shit.
Shout out to Rashid Chappelle. Beast.
Should be the next review, man.
This will probably be a review because this fucking track, My Epic in quotation portraits, is a fucking surefire banger. And I gotta give y'all a little bit.
Welcome to my epic, was written for your amusement. All my years of living, I put it inside the music. Sorry for confusion, illusions I don't provide. Hungry bellies turning felons, the place I reside. Homicide on a daily, babies born to addiction. The outside world I offer.
Oh, yo, that shit, I can't really, listen, due to the
They gonna
constraints,
flag us.
due to the constraints, We might get flagged. You know what I'm saying? He better edit it up.
There will be
chop
like
it
a
up
30-second mute of us just.
I'm trying to tell you, shout out to Rashid Chappelle. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You have bars and storytelling. This is definitely an album that I think we're gonna definitely look into and do a review for. It's called First Brick.
Okay.
Make sure you check that out. Check out that young man. You know what I'm saying? I believe he's from Brooklyn as well. Shout out to Brooklyn. Always home of the spitters. You know how that goes. Once again, on that note, make sure you check out the new Quavo album. Make sure you check out the new Reason album.
Yep.
Shout out to Enter the Stage. Happy 25th anniversary to a classic album. I know most folks don't play homage, but we gonna pay homage because we about that life. And make sure you check out Rashid Chappelle, First Brick. Great listen. Like, share, subscribe. Comment.
And stop making stupid people famous.
You already know. Peace.
Love you, bro.
Love you.